It's a delight to know that you are right there on the desk this evening. On the desk this evening, we have so much going down. A special welcome back from Anambra State, where Soludo have said, well, his election is a test that we can still have free and fair election in Nigeria. Some of the persons have, of course, tagged the election as a cash and carry election. Some other persons said it is a bazaar. But what then can you say? The bottom line is that Anambarians now have a governor. But then Soludo is returning back and he has been congratulated by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and other high-profile Nigerians. My name is Ramsey and it's so good to have you join us on the desk this evening. But then on the desk, we have so much going down and we will be looking at the first issue, which is going to be coming from Anambra State. But as a matter of fact, I have two gentlemen joining me on the program this evening. But before we introduce our guest, you would like you to know that we will be looking at what PDP, SDP, Labour Party, ADC, and other political parties are saying about the Anambra Guba election. And don't forget that there is a taunting of the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party by the All Progressive Congress in Lagos, the Lagos chapter. They've made a statement about Peter Obi, but then you begin to put one or two together, then you start thinking of the reason why there should be this taunting coming to Peter Obi. But then what else can we say about the strike going on, the NASU strike? Some people are saying, why on earth will you be owing these people? Must you wait until there is a strike action before you take action? Federal government, but then there is a statement that is being made by NASU as regards the issue of no work, no pay. And moving away from there, we'll also look at banditry. In fact, we're discussing the threats, some people may call it, by Donald Trump. Some persons said it is an attack. Some persons said it is an invasion. Some Nigerians are calling it a whole lot of names. But then we will be talking about what is happening as far as banditry. Someone just spoke to me a few minutes ago to say, well, 3 of my beloved ones have been taken into captivity and ransom was being paid, running to hundreds of millions. Is that how we are going to continue? Well, we'll look at Katsina today and see the importance of Peace Pally as it has to do with, of course, banditry. Then, don't forget that so many things are happening. The stock market, the economy of the nation. Do you think the Trump and Nigeria issue would have impact on the stock market, on the economy of Nigeria as a nation? We will look at all of that depending on how much time we will have in our hands today on the desk. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, I will bring to you these topics and the guests in the studio will add their voice to the conversation as you send your own reactions on our social media platforms so that we can all react and be part of this conversation. The desk returns after this break. Stay with us. Joining me on the conversation right here on the desk is Abdurrahman Aliagon. He's a journalist and, of course, the editor-in-chief. It's good to have you join us on the program this evening.
Thank you very much. Nice having me.
Well,
good evening, viewers.
I wanted to say, well, we didn't see over the weekend, so I was thinking if you were in Anambra State. But no, a lot of people, a lot of journalists actually traveled there.
Yes.
So I was thinking maybe you went there because I didn't get a call from you.
Yeah, I traveled to my hometown. I did
hometown when others are going to Anambra.
Yeah.
How about editor?
I have somebody there standing for our platform.
Oh, that's, I know. I'm just kidding. And of course, to my left, I have Comrade James Ezema. Comrade is a journalist and, of course, a public affairs analyst. It's good to have you join us on the program this evening.
Thank you very much for having me.
Why did you decide to dress in Igbo attire this evening?
Well, there's no Igbo-ness in the attire I'm wearing. Nothing Igbo in it.
The cap.
The cap.
You tell me the truth. If you've not seen Soludo wear this kind of cap,
It's just a cap. It's not.
and even
He has no tribal attire.
this material is.
He looks, because it's somehow like a chieftaincy material.
He is already saying it. You can now see where I'm coming from. It's good to have you join us on the desk this evening.
Nice to be here.
Let's quickly go to Anambra.
Anambra
State.
is sweet.
Well, the atmosphere in Anambra State changed on Saturday. One thing happened in that election, and that's the fact that even if you see the atmosphere, first of all, we were here on Saturday to follow the situation report. We heard of voters' apathy. Then later on, we started hearing of the fact that there was vote buying, which was actually debunked. I think, some people said there was nothing like that. But then, as it is right now, Labour Party, ADC, SDP, and of course PDP rejected Anambra Guba election results. What does that speak to you? Because remember, INEC is excited. The governor of Anambra State said, well, this is to tell you that Nigeria has gotten it right as it has to do with elections in Nigeria. But then I was surprised when I saw it on the paper today, Labour Party, SDP, ADC coming out to say they don't accept the Guba election results.
Well, in the first place, it is difficult for a Nigerian politician to accept the outcome of any election. So that one is established, that it's difficult for you to find a Nigerian who accepts a result that is announced by INEC. Then secondly, you know, we predicted it actually on this program that Anambra is a place where we may not say that vote buying originated from Anambra State, but we can tell you that that's where the act of vote buying has been perfected. So it depends on the version of the act that was presented on Saturday. So, but by and large, it has become a culture. You know, I was saying it, that is the norm in Anambra, but it was as if it was a joke.
So indirectly, you're concurring to the fact that there was vote buying in Anambra State.
Of course, EFCC arrested some people, so it's not as if whether there were allegations of vote buying, and EFCC arrested some of the buyers of vote, and it is something that we shouldn't be surprised about, because that's the norm in Anambra State.
But a lot of people refuse to come out for the election.
Yes, because in Anambra, you don't just rush out and go and do election. You have to know which person or which political party is paying the highest before you can now go out. No, you don't just move out because today is election day. You rush to the polling unit. Because once you get to the polling booth, you have to vote and go. So, but people have to wait and make sure that the canvassers are there, the people who are giving the money are there, and then they will know which of them is giving, how much are they giving. Because that's what they used to do. They will come out and ask how much is APC giving, how much is PDP giving, how much is APGA giving, how much is Labour Party giving. If you are not giving anything, no vote for you.
Straight up, no vote for you?
There's no vote for you.
All right, let me get to editor right now. Editor, as it is right now, it's obvious that you sound like you look excited. How do you feel about Anambra's election? Because the governor has spoken. He's the winner. In fact, I saw him waving people, you know, celebrating. And he has said, well, it is fair. This is free and fair election. And that was one of the target of the new INEC chairman. So how much belief do you have in the governor, the election, and the new INEC chairman as we speak?
Yeah, Anambra election, I as usual, it has come and gone. And the winner has been declared, being the incumbent governor of Anambra. And as a winner, he will see all angles to that election will be the best to the winner. Like we say, I mean, the paper reports and some other civil society organization reported that the election was something like a bazaar other than election. So what it implies was that the election in Nigeria, it has become a matter of highest bidder. Because if you don't have the money, you cannot even move close to even contest election in Nigeria. And Anambra in particular, you know, before now, we have come to this same studio to predict what is likely to happen in the election. And even the governor himself has made a kind of pledge, financial pledge, that if you deliver your polling unit or your local government, there is a certain amount of money that you are going to get. So either we like it or not, the election, Anambra election has come, has gone. The other political parties, the opposition parties that are rejecting the election, you know, it has always been said that election is either won by, after election has been won, it determines by either the court or the INEC. INEC has done its own part by declaring Soludo as the winner of the election. What is left for other opposition parties is to seek redress at the court.
But that's one of the things Amupitan said he's going to work on, litigation, election litigation. And then you're talking about the governor of Anambra State who was contesting, promising maybe his party loyalists that if you are able to deliver your local government, I will appreciate you. Is it wrong for someone to appreciate people who have worked tirelessly to ensure they deliver their polling unit? Not that money may not come to them, but after the election, not before the election. You know, these are his party members.
As a politicians, we have to be very careful of what comes out from their mouths. When you are talking about money as you are preparing towards election, it's not ambiguous that you want to procure votes. That is the meaning. Deliver your polling booth or local government and get the so amount of money. It is transactional. There is no doubt about it. What is left for the opposition parties, the PDP, SDP, LP, is now to seek the redress in the court. And don't forget, even going to court, you must have, it is not for free. Even at the court.
That's exactly what I wanted to say.
That is not for free.
Is that no waste of resources?
You must have enough resources to prosecute either the victory or the losses.
So even at the court, money that is playing the game.
That is it. Nigeria. Are you
now trying to tell us that elections in Nigeria is all about money?
It's money bag. This is clear. And it's not even only happening in Anambra election. Previous election have told us this. If you don't have money, you can't come close to contest election. And that is the fact.
So what's the implication of that?
The implication is that the election in Anambra has been bought by the people that are present there. Like my colleague said, that EFCC arrested some people that are trying to buy votes. It just means that another 4 years has been sold. That is the implication. And there is already in his second term, there is nothing, you cannot question whatever, even if you are questioning it, you are just questioning it for questioning sake. Nothing will come out of it because another 4-year destiny have been bought. That is just it.
That is just it.
That is just it.
But then, looking at Nigeria as it is right now, because you're now saying, a politician has told me, and APC chieftain have told me on one of my programs that you don't really need money, and he used himself as an example. But I'm surprised that you're saying you need to have money before you contest for political positions in Nigeria. But now, going to court as it is, do you think it's necessary going to court?
Yeah. If all these opposition, if they think twice, to me, it's not really necessary to go to court. I was listening to the ADC candidate this morning when he was giving his own side of the election on one other TV stations. So he was saying that, he was a living witness to what happened in Anambra, that Anambra case election is the case of highest bidder, that he decided not to buy votes, that if he wanted to buy votes, he has the money, but he wanted to be voted as the governor of Anambra with people's conscience. Not that because he is trying to induce them with money.
That's the ADC candidate?
Yes, Nwosu, something Nwosu.
With a gubernatorial candidate?
Yes, so he said it that...
Are you sure it's not just saying that because he lost?
Yeah, that is for him, but that was what he came out to say, that to buy votes in Anambra election, that he has the money, but he doesn't want to buy the conscience of people, that he prefer to lose that election than to buy the votes.
Okay, let me get to Comrade James now. From that statement, what does it mean to you? Can we now say it is some level of sanctity in the Labour Party, or it is all about the individual? And of course, you've monitored and observed elections in Nigeria. Can we say that is what Labour Party stands for?
Well, the candidate now is the candidate of ADC, and it is, you see, this
okay,
thing
the candidate of ADC. Okay,
and, yes, and this thing is not about what the parties, any political party stand for in Nigeria, because I don't see any political party that stands for anything. But it is, we should not be talking about whether that is what the individual person stands for. Because Nigerian politics is about who is there now, you know. Because remember when APC was in opposition, even as the ACN and the later APC, you will see that how they pursued politics. The CPCs, members, the CPCs of this world, you know how they pursued politics. Everybody ran as if it was a game by saints. So, and then everybody presented themselves to the people as the saints of this world and the most capable persons in the world and things like that. So at the end of it all, what have happened? The CPC, ACN, some part of ABGA that joined the coalition, that eventually merged and formed the APC. They are all political party members and things like that. Today, what can we say? We are looking at the same people presenting the same thing they condemned in PDP, doing the same thing they said. When they were in the opposition, they were shouting that we have one party state, one dominant party, and or whatnot. Today, they are enjoying people that are coming into their food. So that is the thing. So political party, as far as I'm concerned, in Nigeria, it's not about what the party stands for. It's now about what an individual person stands for. Because no political party, I cannot vouch for any political party in Nigeria as it is today.
Moving away from there, still in connection with the Anambra election, Anambra poll aftermath, Lagos APC taunts Obi, and they said, forget 2027, your movement is dead. That's what they said. What do you think about that? That statement, what does it mean to you?
You see, that's all part of what we're talking about elections in Nigeria. Election is already planned. The outcome is planned, and only on election day they go and they execute it. So this person, put him on the first position, put the other one on the third position, put the other one on second position, put the other one fourth position. So they have already mapped it, scripted it, and because if you watch the narrative before the election, I have been hearing some people from the APC side, to be specific, telling us that Anambra, there's this Ojukwu factor, and then Ojukwu legacy thing, and everything, and all that. So that Anambra will always want to vote for APGA, because there's already a script on ground how the thing will come out. So we have to begin a reform that will make the people, the voters, the electorates, the ones to decide who is the person that will be their leader. Not the courts, not INEC, and not government influence.
All right, Abdurrahman, let's get to this fight now. Telling Peter Obi to forget his movements in 2027 that is dead just because of an off-cycle election in Anambra State. Even though he's from Anambra State, he was once the governor of Anambra State. APGA have swept the polls in Anambra State. Does that mean he should forget about his movement?
Yeah, you see, when the Lagos APC is asking Obi to forget the 2027 presidential election, they may be saying, it's a political statement. Let's take it for that. But looking at it critically, if you look at it from the angle of the Labour Party or Labour movement, the case or cases in court now is like LP is rivaling PDP when it comes to case.
So who has more cases?
So I say it's rivaling PDP. So look at the leadership tussle between the Abure faction and the Nenadi Usman faction. This even up to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court ruled, coming to the interpretation of the rule, the judgment, up to date, as if Nigeria Supreme Court is no longer bearing that name. They are still struggling, still at the loggerhead to determine the leadership of LP today. And either we like it or not, Peter Obi belongs to one of these factions or the other, or is maybe pretending to stay in the middle. Looking at that one is by one side. Secondly, even look at the Edo election, the last election in Edo that contested by this barrister Apata. If you look at the outcome of that election, I can tell you that it's like the movement is going into oblivion. Because if you look at the outcomes of Labour Party in that election, it's nothing to write home about. Now come to Anambra election, Labour Party in that contest. If you look at the number secured by Labour Party, I can tell you that if Peter Obi comes from Anambra and is getting this number, I doubt if it's up to 10,000 votes in Anambra election. If Peter Obi is coming from Anambra and this kind of outcome of election is, coming from his own state, let alone any other state, what Lagos APC is saying, we may not say completely out of context, but looking at the factors that can take Peter Obi or get Peter Obi to become the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria come 2027 all these outcomes that we have seen immediately after 2023 election, they are not a good signal.
Let's look at it critically now from both sides, because can we now say at this point that winning election in your polling unit or in your state is a determinant for how good or how prominent your party is? Remember that the now president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria lost in his own territory, that is Lagos State.
Yeah.
But he still emerged as the president of this country.
Yes. If you look at who President Tinubu is, you discover that losing in Lagos State is something highly unusual. But looking at his political trajectory or precedents, you discover that Tinubu has invested across board, not only in Lagos State. And don't forget the influence of the late President Muhammadu Buhari in the 2023 election cannot be underestimated, because Buhari, you know, in the north, they follow their leaders. And the moment their leader speaks, they follow. Unlike any other part of the country, there is no way the Tinubu can deny the influence of President Muhammadu Buhari in his 2023 election.
Contrary to what some persons were preaching.
That is just it. Either we like it or not, either they like it or not, the influence of President Muhammadu Buhari in 2023 election cannot be underestimated.
Hold it there. Well, the impact and the effect of the late President Muhammadu Buhari cannot be overemphasized in the 2023 election, according to the guests that I have in the studio there. Let's quickly go on a break. After this break, we'll return and we'll bring you more story. Now, it's going to be coming from NASU. That's where we'll get started from after this break. Stay with us. No work, no pay, negate fair labor relations. This is coming from NASU, as a matter of fact. The issue of no work, no pay, it has caused a lot of controversy. Then the issue of NASU strike. I don't know. This is, but as it is right now, they are saying it negates fair labor relations. What do you think about that, comrade? NASU is the one saying this. There was a protest, there was a strike in this nation that did not last, should I say 48 hours or 72? 48 hours, of course. The Pengassin and Dangote refinery strike. You know, it was called off immediately. But NASU, ASU, you know, NAD, you know, the resident doctors, these people go on strike from time to time, negotiations, things happen. And of course, at the end of the day, it will result to no work, no pay. What do you think as it has to do with labor relations?
Well, no work, no pay. Every government, every administration have always used that phrase, no work, no pay, to threaten people that have gone on strike. But I don't know, even the military could not implement it, not alone a civilian administration. So all those, let them pay these people their money. There is no, you cannot be owing somebody and say, and be threatening the person that if he did not come to work, you are not going to pay. After all, you have not even been paying. So what is that a threat? So where will the person get money to start coming to work?
After all, you've not even
After all, you have not been paying. So what are we talking about? See, all these things are military carryovers. You know, we're having military carryovers that we're bringing into democracy, and that's why we are militarizing democracy, muzzling opinion, gagging individuals, making sure that people cannot even express themselves, and they cannot say anything, because the people who are in power at every point in time want only them to be heard. They don't want to hear from anybody, no feedback, nothing. They just want themselves to be heard. It has become a slave-servant relationship. Then the master is talking, the slave should say nothing. You know, whether the slave is feeling the pain of the shoe that is wearing and the pinch is so hard and harsh, it doesn't matter. So let us begin to practice democracy in Nigeria, for God's sake. What we are practicing now is not a democracy. This is not a democracy. Could you call this a democracy? A democracy where people are told that if you don't come to work, I will not pay, and then they cannot even pay you the amount they're supposed to pay. We're talking of government. If it is even individual and private sector entities, fine, we will say, okay, because of the economy, because of the way the business environment and things like that, that okay, let us even excuse them. You mentioned the Dangote and Pengas and their own strike. How it was resolved. Why would it not be resolved when it is individual persons that are involved? These people are people that when they come to the table, they will tell themselves the truth and they will find a compromise so quickly. But when it comes to government thing, do you know that some of these people that go for negotiation for government, it is money for them. To be going there, they will have to pay for fuel, they will have to, you know, the food, all these kind of allowances and things, they will use it.
So they're interested, they are happy with strike action.
All these things are good things that bring
it's
good
now
money.
Become a business.
That's what it means. It's like, because how can you expect?
Is that not an allegation?
What allegation? Wouldn't they raise voucher for the inconvenience of going for sitting to discuss this strike?
All right, let me get to Comrade now. From Comrade, let me go to the editor-in-chief. As it is, are you saying that the labor relation is being tampered with, is been trampled on? Is the federal government not doing enough? Because the federal government will tell you, well, we are trying our best. Is it that the money is not there? Is it that ASUU is overbearing?
Yeah, so you see that education sector is a critical sector that any serious government should look at it and stamp his hand. The funniest part of this issue is you come to a round table and you sign an agreement that by the so year we are going to pay what you demanded for. More than years has gone down the rail. The promise was not kept. Now, if you are now bringing the issue of no work, no pay, you know, it has negated fair labor relations, because it appears that you are holding a stick or cane that if you are not doing this, this is punishment for you, of which this is something that you agreed. It is two-party agreement. that nobody should hold a stick that you are going to slam or to beat somebody because he is not doing what is expected of him. As government, I think it is high time we begin to keep, if government made a promise, it is high time to keep to that promise. Because there is no way you cannot ask an hungry man to go to class or to go to office. He's hungry. He will be hungry. So he cannot put in his best. So not even to talk about the education sector, which is critical. Almost all aspects of our Nigeria sector is battling with one industrial relation or the other. It's not too long, very recently, that the issue of NAD came in, the issue of ASU came in. We have not battled with it. This is NASU. And you are now saying that no work, no pay. It has never happened in the history of labor relations in Nigeria. Even the one that you deny ASU long ago is still part of their demand till tomorrow. So federal government should just forget the issue of no work, no pay. They should do the needful. They should rescue that sector, education sector. They should rescue it. Even doing their best, it has not amounted to the best quality of output in terms of graduates coming out from the school. Now that you left your responsibility undone, and you are now wielding the sledge hammer that no work, no pay. It won't work. It will even escalate that the problem. So it is high time for government to begin to when they made promises, let them come and pay whatever they made as promise. Let them come to that stand and ensure that anything in terms of promises, in terms of agreements signed, let them do the needful.
Let them do the needful. But do you see this having implication on the students?
Definitely it will have, because there is no way when a student goes to school, you are expected to go and learn. In a situation whereby you get to school, you heard that your lecturers have gone on strike. The non-academic staff are on strike. At the end of the day, what would they bring out of that? I am a practical example.
I can see the way you're hammering.
Yes, because my daughter, when he got admission, that was in 2021, immediately after COVID-19, you know, there was a strike, 8-month strike. He's now in 300 level and is expected to have even graduated from school, but he's still in school today. So now there is no way it will have an effect on students, not only in terms of the time that they're supposed to graduate, it will equally have effect on the quality of that education, because it is not consistent. When the plan was that a program that was slated for 4 years or 5 years or 6 years, if it's now taking forever, the interest will be lost. It will affect the quality of that education, even at the labor market, or we will call it favor market.
It's favor market, of course. You can't take that away. It's favor market. because if you want to say labor market, well, some students from NYC, some of these core members don't even want to hear the labor market because they feel maybe because people call it labor market, they go there and they are laboring.
That is it.
All right, we're looking at no work, no pay, as it has to do with the NASU's reaction, saying it negates fair labor relations. But now, as it is, let's move away from there and look at bandit leader pledge an end after peace parley in Katsina State. We've had so much. I've had security operatives, experts on some of our programs who have said so many things about negotiation or parleying with these bandits. Of course, bandits are there. We can't take that away. There are some parts of this country that you can't travel to right now with your eyes closed. If you can't fly in the air and you need to use the road, or even now it's not even on the road alone. We've had where they walk into estates, even in FCT, and take people hostage. We've heard of communities that have been held hostage by these bandits. But then bandits leader pledged to end attack after peace parley in Katsina State. Because of these bandits, you see them. Who are these bandits? We've had some leaders said, well, these people can actually be fetched out. Are these people part of the community? Are these people part of the system? Are these people having sponsors from somewhere? As it is right now, what do you think about bandits leader pledging to end attack after peace parley in Katsina State? If it can happen in Katsina, maybe if it is good enough, that system might or should be applied in other parts of the country, because banditry is ravaging most parts of the country, not just Katsina State alone.
You see, that is why some governments of the world are looking at the Nigerian government as complicit in this whole insecurity issue. How can, in a country where people are killing people, and then you will now be having individuals that go to have meetings with them? After that meeting, no arrest, no tracing, no trailing, nothing. These people come from the bush, come to township, finish their meeting, they go home quietly and safely back into the communities where they are occupying. Some of these bandits are actually holding certain communities to ransom, that if you don't pay the tax they are demanding from you, you cannot go to farm. But this is a country where we have government, and government is talking about sovereignty. When Trump was talking about taking out some of these terrorists that are killing Nigerians, then some people are talking about sovereignty. Sovereignty that the government of the day cannot enforce, that some of these bandits are taking part of the federation as their own domain, occupying, whether it's in the forest or in the sea or anywhere, they are part of the geographical entity called Nigeria. Why should a bandit occupy a local government? Even as close as Niger State is to FCT, they still have some local governments that are occupied by bandits. What are we talking about? Is this how a country should run? And then somebody would tell me that if Trump should come and tackle this banditry, that is a violation of sovereignty. Do you even have a sovereignty in the first place if you have a bandit that is operating freely and without restraint? How can we continue like this? The world will continue to laugh at us. Because you see, you think that they don't know what is happening here. Some people will be saying that because Trump was giving wrong data, wrong information, and whatnot. These are people that see what happened. We see them, they see them. These are the things that are reported on daily basis. How can you have somebody that will always be frequenting bandits' hideouts, and then the person was not trained by security operatives? There are such people should have been a kind of, even if you don't want to arrest them, they should have been a good asset for security agencies, that when they are going for such operation, they will be properly gadgeted so that they will get proper information from these people. What are we talking? Why are we running a country like a banana republic, where anybody can just wake up one morning and then banditry now today has become a big business?
Oh, all right, it has become a big business. So I wanted to talk about that because as somebody told me a few minutes ago before we came on air, before we come up with any discussion, we go about some researches to be sure. And somebody even attested to the fact that 3 of his own relatives were actually held hostage, and money was being paid for ransom.
Of course.
Running into hundreds of millions.
Yes.
And he said the leader, someone in the community that they know in the town, said, bring the money
and get to XYZ place, and the person will help you to free the person.
The people. Then the bandits were now communicating according to him to say, well, what we are doing is work. We are employed to do this. Meaning some of them are
some of them, see, that's why when you see some people, we got here because the country is run not like a country, but like a place where people are just trading. They capture power and use it as a means of accessing resources and for sharing resources and things like that. It's not about governance. If it's about governance, we wouldn't be here.
All right, hold it for a minute. Let me get to the managing director now, the managing editor, I beg your pardon. As it is, what do you think of negotiation or a pally peace with bandits?
Well, what is happening is one of the key indicators of a failed state. Sitting down with bandits to negotiate. What are they negotiating for? These people are criminals. They're supposed to be arrested and prosecuted. If actually we have government in place. I can even tell you, even the Katsina state government that is sitting down together with the criminals, if it has to be checked properly, I want to believe he is part of that problem.
But in the paper, I say Katsina. We're not told whether it's the government or anybody. We just saw Katsina.
When we see
Katsina,
the face of anything called Katsina today is the governor of Katsina. So even if it is not the government, like I said, anybody that is sitting down to negotiate with criminals, he himself is a criminal. And he has to be prosecuted, arrested and prosecuted. Because in the first place, these people, they are killing people, taking community hostage, and kidnapping people, demanding for ransom. In all this, where does it gazetted as an act of state that if this is committed, you have to come into a round table and discuss it? You are now calling it peace pally. How do we call this? What do we call it? If not, it's a criminal. Like I said in one other TV station, that there's what we call economy of war. My colleague said that it has become transactional, because when you hold people hostage, you kidnap them, you demand for money, and that in millions of naira. It is a big business, and we may even be looking at should government, is government not having hands in this? Because it's a failure in the part of police, it's a failure in the part of DSS, it's a failure in the part of army. Because when they are there with their numbers, no any intelligence gathering towards all these criminal activities, and somebody is sitting down to negotiate, is it in naira or in dollar?
All right. Well, our time is fast spent. I wanted to ask, because someone has said that, well, if you are not the one that your family member is being kidnapped, you won't know the importance of this pally or maybe negotiation or ransom payment. What do you think of that in just one sentence?
Let me just tell you, as long as this situation of peace pally continues, the criminals and criminality will continue.
All right. As far as this negotiation or peace pally continues, either in Katsina State, Nasarawa State, Benue State, Plateau State, it means this business, this trade, like it's been called by my guest today, is becoming a lucrative one. And if care is not taken, other people may still get into this banditry business. But then, our time is not on our side. We would have loved to talk about the fact that Trump's threat, as a matter of fact, the threat has affected the stock market, and there is a loss that has hit 2.8 trillion naira, as a matter of fact, meaning it is affecting our economy gradually. But then what will happen if these bandits have been taken out? Thank you very much for joining us today, Comrade James Ezeman.
Thank you very much for having me here.
All right, thank you very much, Managing Editor, for joining us on the program.
It's a pleasure being here. Thank you.
All right, well, this is going to be the size of the conversation on the desk today. The desk will return again, and that's going to be on Wednesday for another wonderful edition. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Bye-bye for now.